Okay, now we are moving on to the blood types. I hope that each and every one of us is now familiar or is now able to do the monohybrid crosses, the dihybrid crosses, and so on and so on. Now we are moving to the blood type. Now, in a normal human being, or each and every one of us, a normal human being, we have got 4 blood types. The first one is blood type A, the second one is blood type B, the third one is blood type AB, and the last one are those with blood type O. Now, these blood types A, B, and O, all of these are the phenotype. They are the phenotype because we are able to see, or these are the physical appearance of the blood types, or the 4 blood types that we have stated. Now, this blood type, they have got their alleles that controls them. For example, blood type A is controlled by allele I to the power capital letter A, to show that this allele is what? Is dominant, ne? Then the second blood type, which in B, the second blood type, which B, has got its own allele, and the allele for the blood type B is A to the power capital letter B. And this shows that this allele is what? Is also dominant, ne? Now, the blood type AB is controlled by the allele I to the power A and I to the power B, meaning that both alleles that control the blood type AB, both of them are what? They are co-dominant. Are we together? They are co-dominant. Now, each and every individual, or each and every one of us, can have 2 of the above alleles, meaning that you cannot have both, but you can only have what? 2 of these allele or alleles in your genotype. This means that the individual cannot possess more than 3 allele in his or her genotype, meaning that a normal human being will only possess how many alleles? 2 of the aforementioned or of the above allele in his genotype or the genetic makeup. Now, I've already alluded, or I've already said that the allele I is recessive over allele capital letter I to the power A, meaning that the capital letter shows that this allele is dominant over that other one, which is being presented or shown by what? By a small letter. Are we together? Now, to differentiate between these 2 alleles, wherein they are represented by the capital letters, they also use the letters A and B to differentiate them. But these 2 alleles, they are co-dominant, or they work together, and they influence the phenotype of the blood type of an individual. Why? Because they are dominant. Are we together? Now, this is summed up, or it is summarized in the table below, wherein in the first column we have the gene combination, the blood type, and the reason for that blood type. You will look at the table and see what they're saying here. Now, it means that a person with the blood type AB will have what? The genotype for that person will be what? Capital letter I to the power capital letter A and capital letter I to the power B. That's the genotype of the person with the blood type AB. And then the reason for these 2 capital letters I and to the power AB is that these 2 alleles are co-dominant. They are co-dominant. Now, a person with blood type A will have the alleles or the genotype in capital letter I to the power A and capital letter I to the power A. Or he or she can have the capital letter I to the power A and the small letter I to show that I is dominant over what? Over the small letter I. Now, a person with the blood type B can have the alleles or the genotype of I to the power B and I to the power B in our mini capital letters. Or the other I can be capital letter to the power B and a small letter. But a person with the blood type O will contain the genotype double small letter I. Why? Because these two alleles are recessive. They are recessive, meaning that a person with the blood type O will contain the alleles or the genes that are recessive. And to show that these genes are recessive, we will use what? The small letters I. Two small letters I to show that the person with blood type O has got what? The recessive genes, or they are recessive. That's all about blood type. Now I have the example here on page number 39 of the exam fever, wherein the question states that two parents, one heterozygous for blood type for blood A group and one heterozygous for blood B group produces the children. Determine the possible phenotype and the genotype of the generation. Here we are given that we are going to cross a parent. We are going to cross a parent who is heterozygous. This parent is what? The parent is heterozygous for blood type A. And this parent is crossed with another parent who is heterozygous for blood group B. Now the question says determine the possible phenotype and the genotype of the children. Now what are we going to do? We will firstly say that the P1 to show that the parents, the phenotype, which is the physical appearance, is what? Is blood type A and blood type B. And the genotype for blood type A is what? We are going to use this one, the second one. Why? Because here they say that this person is heterozygous for blood A. Now, the genotype for a heterozygous blood group A is this one, the capital letter I to the power A and a small letter. Why? Because this person is heterozygous for blood group A. Now, the second parent is what? Heterozygous for blood group A. Let's go to the table there and check the genotype of the person with blood group B. Here, the genotype of a person with blood group B is what? Is I to the power B, I to the power B, and I to the power B and I. Now, here, we are going to use this second genotype. Why? Because the second person here is heterozygous for what? For blood B, meaning that the other allele must be recessive, because this person is what? Is heterozygous. Now, from there, they say that the genotype of these two is what? Is I to the power A, I times I to the power B, I. After that, meiosis will occur. After meiosis has occurred, this leads to the production of what? Of gametes. What are the gametes? Gametes are the sex cells. These are gametes. They are no longer genes. They are now what? Gametes. This cycle shows that meiosis has occurred and these are gametes. Now, from there, in order for you to cross these two, you can use a Punnett square. A Punnett square like this one, or you can simply draw the lines and cross these two individuals. Now, after crossing the two individuals, the results are as follows. In the first fluvial generation, we found that the genotypes are I, capital letter I to the power A, and capital letter I to the power B. The second one is I to the power B and I and then the third one is I to the power A and I, and the last one is II. Now, what are the possible phenotype? In order for you to identify the phenotype, you will go to your table. Here is your table. Then in your table, you will check uri arali genotype yowa I to the power A and I to the power B. Then blood group you only mean. Obviously, the blood group for that one is what? Is AB. Then the second genotype yori I to the power B and I. We'll go to a table and check uri arali yori I to the power B and I blood group yonendi piyo. Donor blood group ya uri nepalanendi blood group number B. The third one is I to the power A and I. I to the power A and I, meaning that the blood group there is what? Is A. And II is obviously what? Blood group number O, meaning that we have answered this question and we are done with the blood group. That's all. Thank you very much.